Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. My question is to the Minister representing the Minister for Health and Wellbeing. Minister, can you please update the House on my question regarding the progress of the residents of the aged care facilities at Port Pirie, Clare and Crystal Brook who have having had the COVID-19 vaccination, and also the number of aged care residents who have been vaccinated and the number who have not received this vaccination? With your leave that on the House, sir, I'll ask explain a bit further.
So leave is sought. It's leave granted.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I asked this question on the 23rd of June, and the Minister stated he would take it on notice and get back to me. With the issue current at the moment, especially with the New South Wales and things like that, I consider this to be a very high issue, and I could ask the Minister to actually, if he can give me an answer now, or else I will need an answer fairly urgently, because I have concerns, and also residents, families are concerned about the vaccinations in those facilities.
Minister for Education.
I thank the member for the questions. The Minister responsible to the House of Assembly for Health. I believe I did take that question on notice. I will check whether what the status of the answer is now, but I would make the point. Obviously, an extraordinary amount of work has taken place since June. There has been an extraordinarily positive response from the people of South Australia to the vaccination rollout across South Australia. I think more than 50% of South Australians now having taken their first vaccine. And for both people that are working in aged care and indeed residents in aged care, they are, of course, a very high priority and have been since the very start of the rollout. I think that the member for Frome himself is able to assist in his community, as are all members of Parliament, by reiterating at every opportunity, as I do right now, the importance for all South Australians to get the vaccine. The fact is that all South Australians over the age of 16 are able to now make a reservation, make an appointment to get the vaccination, but still there remain, as I have expressed concern previously, people in our community who seek to undermine confidence in the vaccine process, undermine confidence in the medical science. That is indeed our pathway out of this pandemic and is indeed saving countless, hundreds of thousands of lives around the world. And indeed, what we are seeing, despite the significant case numbers in New South Wales, which is, of course, deeply concerning to us all, we are seeing vastly suppressed rates of transmission in New South Wales where people have been vaccinated, and indeed vastly reduced.
There's a point of order.
Look, I asked the question, and I appreciate what the Minister is saying, and I wholly agree on that, but my concern is, has all the residents, and I'll go one further, have all the staff in those facilities been vaccinated? And if that can come back to me as an answer, I'd be quite happy. I promote the thing, but I'll need an answer.
We have that. Minister.
The member for Frome asked a question and then followed it up with a lengthy explanation, and I'm responding directly to some of the points he made. That's how it works. So, when we see in New South Wales that dramatic transmission taking place, but yet very, very, very reduced transmission from people who have been vaccinated, as I was saying, and indeed the impact on severe sickness, the requirement for use of ventilators, and indeed death being dramatically suppressed when people have had vaccinations. Then I go back to what I was saying. The member for Frome, I urge, and indeed all members, to take every opportunity to reiterate the importance of vaccinations in their community, to encourage people in their community, if they have reservations about a vaccination, then to encourage them to look at the evidence that those vaccinations, whether it's Pfizer or indeed the AstraZeneca, which is available right now in significant quantities for many people in the community, including more elderly residents in the community, the fact that it is a safe vaccine. It is a vaccine with reduced risk of side effects compared to just about any other medication that we use in our everyday lives, and indeed the opportunity for those residents to increase their own safety, for all residents, particularly those who have elderly family members, such as those that the member for Frome refers to get vaccinated, so that when they visit their family members, they reduce the risk of transmission as well. In relation to the detail of the numbers, I expect that they have increased between June and August, and so I will take that question as a fresh question on notice.